What up, though? All praises go to the Most High, man. It's your boy Trill, man. And today, I wanna talk about like symbolism. You know what I'm saying? Like symbolism. Symbols is very, very effective. Especially to our subconscious mind. You know what I mean? And depending on the level of consciousness that you are on, like a symbol can have a trillion different meanings. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's some of the most common symbols we know? The Nike sign. You know what I mean? The Nike check. Boom. You can see the Nike check and think about gym shoes. You know what I mean? You can see the Nike check and think about athletic wear. You can see the Nike check and think about Jordans. You can see the Nike check and think about Air Force Ones. You can see the Nike check and think about Air Max 95s. Like, that's a symbol, and a symbol has a broad spectrum of meanings. You know what I mean? Just think about the McDonald's sign, the golden arches. You feel me? You see that? Your kids see that and know it's McDonald's before they can even read. You know what I mean? It'll be a 2-year-old. They see them golden arches. They see that M. They like, oh, McDonald's. Like, that's a symbol. You know what I mean? But on the higher consciousness, like, some people will see them arches and think, oh man, fast food, unhealthy, you know what I mean? Nasty. Woo. Some people will see it and think burgers, fries, shakes, nuggets, you know what I mean? These are what symbols are, you know what I mean? It's one, brief thing that has a broad spectrum, like that has like super possibilities, you know what I mean? Just think about like a tree. You know what I mean? Like, when we think of trees, we think of fruit. We think of life. You know what I mean? We think of plants. You know what I mean? We think of so much stuff. But in the same token, you see a tree and you could think about a family tree. You know what I mean? Because what does a family tree do? It keep growing. It die and keep coming back. You know what I mean? It's a family tree. That's where your ancestors at. That's where your roots come from. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about symbolism and why, to me, it's so important because it is doing something in your subconscious mind. You know what I mean? And if we understand symbolism and symbols, we can try to reprogram certain things, you know what I mean, and take a lot of fear out of the dynamic. You know what I mean? Just like when you see a snake, you can hear the word snake, and it's like, whoa, so many subconscious thoughts go in your mind. You know what I mean? You might think of betrayal, in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, the serpent told them to do this. You could think of the snake and think, gotta keep your grass cut low. You know what I mean? You could think so many negative things, but in the same sense, a snake has positive attributes as well. You know what I mean? Because you can see the snake and think growth, metamorphosis. Because what do snakes do? They shed their skin. You know what I mean? Snakes are also wise. They are also a symbol of wisdom. You know what I mean? If you ever pay attention to the hospital things, they got a snake going around the around the scepter or the stick, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's a snake winding around it. You know what I mean? And that's because snakes have like healing powers. It's a symbolism of, snakes having healing powers in a lot of different cultures. You know what I mean? And it's like, the reason like it's good to program these things is because they have a lot to do with your faith or your optimism. You know what I mean? Because we see so many things on a daily basis, and in our subconscious mind, they have negative annotations, negative meanings, negative definitions, and it's playing with our psyche. Little do we know, you know what I mean? So it's like, we gotta just be aware. One of the biggest things that have symbolism that we really don't even realize, is numbers. Numbers have a lot of different symbolism. You know what I mean? When you see the number 1, you can think about solo. You could think about being alone. You know what I mean? You could think about, being a low number, like being a low vibration, or, being like a shallow number or something. But in the same token, when you see the number 1, you could think about being an innovator. You know what I mean? You could think about the one creator. You could think about the Most High. You know what I mean? You could think about everything, in like a cycle, like 1 year, 1 day, 1 time, one. It's so many different things about the number 1, and it's like, all you need is one shot. You know what I mean? All you need is one opportunity. You know what I mean? So the number 1 can have so many different symbols and meanings and understandings, but it's like, it's up to us to cultivate these ideas. You know what I mean? We got to do it consciously. Like, the conscious mind, little do we know, they always tell you, like, the subconscious mind cannot be cultivated. You know what I mean? Your subconscious mind basically just is a sponge. It soaks up everything. Anything you ever seen is like in your subconscious mind. That's what they have always told us. And they always, try to make it seem as if we can't control it. You know what I mean? But we can pick and choose what we get out of our subconscious mind. You know what I mean? Like, we can pick and choose what we harvest out of it. You know what I mean? We can pick and choose what we are pulling from it. You know what I mean? In a sense. And we do that through our conscious mind. You know what I mean? By using our conscious mind. When all these negative thoughts come up, when you seeing all these things, because just think about it like this. Like, a form of symbolism is a bill. Just think, you can see the word bill and just think debt. Just think problems. Just think, you know what I mean? You can just think, I don't got it. You feel me? You can just think, I don't want to pay it. You know what I mean? But in the same token, you can see the word bill and be like, hey, man, I'm blessed I got it. Like, I'm thankful that I got it to pay this bill. You feel me? You can think, man, it's good that I'm paying the bills, because guess what? I got a family. You know what I mean? I got to keep a roof over their head. I got to keep clothes. You know what I mean? I got to keep security for them. You know what I mean? So it's like, we got to just try our best, man, because a lot of propaganda and a lot of mind control and a lot of manipulation is sent through these symbols, if we understand that or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of fear is put into us from these symbols. You know what I mean? And what we got to realize is, cancer not the biggest killer of people. You know what I mean? And I'm going to say black people just, to focus in on a group of people. You know what I mean? Cancer not the biggest killer. You know what I mean? Diabetes not the biggest killer. You know what I mean? Like, gun violence ain't the biggest killer of us. Stress is. You know what I mean? So when you seeing a lot of these symbols and they stressing you out, like, you know what I mean? Like, they low key killing you. You know what I mean? They killing you slowly but for surely. You know what I mean? Slowly but for sure. Like, it's stressing you out. You know what I mean? Like, just think about every box of cigarettes you buy. It got a big ass warning on it. Warning. But guess what? We all know cigarettes cause cancer. Like, y'all don't gotta keep warning us about this shit, man. Y'all been warning us about this shit since the 50s, since the 40s, since the 30s, since whenever. But guess what? They warning you about it because the smoke might not kill you, but they gonna consistently keep feeding you this stress factor of the smoke will kill you. It can kill you. It will do it. It will do it. It can kill you. And it might kill your baby. It be saying some crazy stuff on cigarettes. Like, it might be like, cigarettes ain't just gonna kill you. It's gonna kill your family through secondhand smoke. Like, damn, that's stressing me out. Why y'all stressing me out? I'm already smoking these motherfuckers, trying to avoid the stress. Like, don't stress me out no more. Like, y'all taking away the whole purpose of the cigarettes. But it's like, these are things that we see, and our subconscious mind eats it up. It digests it, but we might not even be paying so much attention to it. You know what I mean? It's like we seeing it, but we not seeing it. You know what I mean? Because we not really focused on it. But in the same time, we're digesting it, and it's stressing us out, man. Let me tell y'all, if you don't know, every time you go buy that box of cigarettes and they got that big ass warning, this could kill you and your kid. It's stressing you out a little bit. Even if you still buy, still pack them down, still open them up, fire up, it's stressing you, man. Trust me. So it's like, but you just got to focus on the fact, okay, the cigarettes, yes, it's a way better way to control my stress. Because when you think about it, all you doing when you smoking a cigarette is breathing. Controlled breathing is the best way to control your stress, because it's controlling your heart rate. It's controlling your blood flow, how you breathing, and it's controlling your brain in a sense. You know what I mean? Like how your brain is pulsating. Your brain pulsates. It's got electrons and electromagnetic pulses just like your heart do. You know what I mean? So it's like when you breathing, like breathe in, breathe out, them long deep breaths. That's just like smoking a cigarette. What you doing when you smoking a cigarette? You just controlling your breathing. You know what I mean? So we gotta just look at the cigarettes from the bright side of things. You feel me? Like I'm just shallowly, in a shallow state of form, in a shallow perspective, I'm just controlling my breathing until I, can gain a little more self-control when I don't need the cigarette, when I can just sit back and consciously just breathe in, breathe out. But until I can do that, until I want to do that, until I feel like that's good enough, like I'm finna smoke these cigarettes, or I'm finna smoke this black, or I'm finna smoke this weed, like whatever you smoking, like, do it, don't stress yourself and realize, you gonna grow out of it one day. You gonna grow out of it one day, man. But for now, you gotta just, you gotta control yourself. You gotta control them symbols, man. You gotta control your perspective of these symbols. How you feeling about them, man. What you thinking about them. You know what I'm saying? But I love y'all, man. Good thoughts, good vibes in a minute.